Yes, the judge has now handed down his judgment. He has said that the application is refused, that flights will go ahead. They can go ahead, and that flight that is due to depart from the UK to Rwanda on Tuesday will depart. And that means that the 30-plus asylum seekers who are supposed to be on board will be heading to East Africa. What it doesn't mean, though, is that there won't be a judicial review, because that application was lodged a few days ago, on Wednesday actually, by various claimants. That may still go ahead. This will be a big blow for campaigners, because they were arguing that the policy was unlawful and that people would be left potentially stranded out in Rwanda, in a country where their asylum claims weren't going to be processed in a fair way. They had argued that the 7 days given to asylum seekers once they're given notice of what's called a removal direction wasn't long enough for them to be able to launch their own objections to it. The UNHCR as well, the UN's refugee agency as well, their lawyer stood up in court today and backed those claimants, saying as well that they didn't think that there was a fair system out there was no evidence, and they actually said that despite claims to the contrary, they hadn't been involved with the UK government with regards to the Rwandan arrangement, and they weren't endorsing it either. This is a policy that has been described in the past as a cruel and nasty policy. It's been described by Justin Welby, the Archbishop of Canterbury, as ungodly. But for the government, there's a lot riding on this. They hope that this is the answer to their immigration issues. They want to be seen to be tough on immigration. Bear in mind that since the start of this year, more than 10,000 asylum seekers have made that dangerous journey across the Channel to get to the UK. It was just a few weeks ago that the Prime Minister said that, despite these claims that Rwanda wasn't necessarily a safe place or the best place for these people to be sent, he said that Rwanda had been totally transformed in recent years. So what we will be seeing is that asylum seekers will be headed to Rwanda. There are more flights that will be scheduled in the next probably a few weeks maybe, and they will go ahead too. The government has clarified, though, that at the moment they are looking at single lone people to send out. They're not families, but in future they will be looking to send families to Rwanda as well to have their asylum applications processed. And their whole argument for all of this was in the public interest, they say. Because they want to deter people from making those unnecessary, illegal and dangerous crossings. Just yesterday, Downing Street said that the Prime Minister was confident that the flights would go ahead. They are committed politically to pursuing this policy, of course, Priti Patel as well. They want to be, as I say, tough on immigration, but this isn't the last legal challenge, rather. This is just the first of many. On Monday, we've also heard from Asylum Aid, another charity, that they will be putting forward their own legal objections, potentially another injunction application. And of course, more individuals are putting forward their own claims as well. So it's certainly it's not the last that we've heard with regards to legal challenges on this.
But just quickly, Adele, on the flight itself on Tuesday, as you said, there's more legal challenges to come. There's even another court case in the High Court to be heard on Monday. But the flight that's due to go on Tuesday now goes definitely, or could the cases due on Monday affect that?
As it stands, it's going ahead. Anything can happen, I suppose, between now and then, because, as I said, more legal challenges can be mounted. But I would say that it's a bit too late in the day, unless there are some new legal arguments that they come up with on Monday. They are going ahead. I'm just hearing more from inside court. The judge has granted applicants leave to appeal, and he says that he believes that provisions have been made for the Court of Appeal to hear it on Monday. So that's probably going to be the next step in all of this. He's also said that a judicial review, a full hearing, should be able to go ahead before the end of July, and that will be to look into more detail as to whether this policy is unlawful. But in the meantime, as I said, those asylum seekers will be going to Rwanda.